Hello and welcome. I'm going off camera shot. That's just because it is absolutely frantically busy. I'm going to sit down so don't go off the top. Welcome to Donny Cjhaingang with me, Matt Payne. Literally, I have come sprinting into the studio. It's been a mad, manic day with loads of gigs kicking off. Lots of planning for next year. But of course, tonight, it was all had to stop. We're going to the volcano. We're going to the after party. It is the Donny Cjhaingang with full speed events and down in cycling. And this month brought to you by Gritty. And our riders, well, they are getting ready to head out on to the course. I'm hoping that we're going to get there just after they have left the pens. You never know. We might actually get the timing just about right when that happens. Let's see how we're doing. They should be on the way out. Look at this. They are indeed. Let's jump in with our riders. Our lonely avatar sat down there going nowhere. Well, do you know what? We have the power. We're going to jump in with the riders. Here we go. So welcome to the Cjhaingang. Apologies for the incredibly rushed start. As you can tell, it has been a bit manic with lots of events, lots of planning, and a couple of meetings, one of which just ran really late. Now, we are here with Russ Downing. He is our beacon on the course at the moment. Russ just tucked in at the back. The man whose brainchild it was to do the Donny Cjhaingang online way back when. And Russ in with the group as we make our way down and away from downtown Watopia. Now, for those of you who don't know this course, it is really straightforward. Really, really straightforward. We go out and we do 3 loops. And after 3 loops, we go on to the volcano climb. If you're not sure where to go, ask Tracy Seeley. Why, I hear you ask, should we ask Tracy? Well, that's because Tracy put in a storming ride on the Wow Cjhaingang, which was on exactly the same route yesterday. It's either good planning or bad coincidence. In fact, it's good planning. There was a reason for it. Way back when it was put in too much. So, take 2 for those people who didn't have a great ride. Those people who did have a good ride, like Tracy, right up at the finish. Well, it's another chance to see if those tactics will work again or maybe change that. Now, Tuesday, Finn Hudson was absolutely fine. And Finn, one of our fast riders, along with Harry Hudson, the dynamic duo. Harry, of course, joined 3rd in the National Hill Climb, as well as being junior champion. Absolutely flying along. And as you can see, the riders just making their way into towards the tunnel. So we're going to drop down, go through the tunnels, climb up towards the top of the Italian villas. We take a left-hand turn and left-hand turn again, and Tracy indeed having deja vu. Now, if you're watching on Down in Cycling YouTube channel, which is the only place you should be watching it on, then don't forget, make sure you click the live button. Ultra latent, low latency means that we should be coming to you round about between 2 and 3 seconds behind. The question, Matt, will Russ call 4 watts per kilo? Yeah, I doubt it. Russ does it by feel rather than by numbers. Oh, Russ is your Van Gogh. I'm your paint it by numbers. And to be honest, I think it's the same. It's true for the Wow, which was on yesterday. The Wow, of course, growing up, finding its own little space in the world of Zwift. And now it does say a big thank you to all of the support from the riders on the Cjhaingang. It is a mutually symbiotic relationship in that, of course, we talk a lot about the Donny Cjhaingang on the Wow, and we're lucky enough to do the Wow and talk about the Wow on the Donny Cjhaingang. They are very similar, and of course, the Wow has evolved from the Wow DCG. This year, breaking the mold, growing up. Bit like when your kids get their first place away from home. That's this year. Next year they'll be having parties and everything. It's pretty close already, believe me. However, as you can see at the moment, in with Russ on the gang. They're making their way in through the tunnels. Looks like a good group here. Going to just work our way back through the group. Interesting to see a few people have got the steering rolling. Chris Canham just trying to chase on to the group at 3.7 watts per kilo. So Chris, you're about 40 seconds down, buddy. unless you're feeling exceptionally strong. Me, I'll be jumping out and jumping back in again. Gareth Licence actually on the back of that group, and I think I can just about make the figure out behind as they make their way in through. So we'll see who is going to be in the mix when we get to the end. So Tuesday we had a great Cjhaingang. Remember, Tuesdays are members of the DCG gang only. That is those people on the Donny Cjhaingang who have contributed into that monthly amount and have signed up, committed to that, and we say a massive thank you by looking after them. We're helped in that by our amazing supporters. You can see them down the bottom of your screen right now. The team who help us out are there looking after the riders, the members of the DCG gang. So they are basically looking after everybody. This month it is Gritty, the sustainable sports apparel and store. So whether it is the water bottles made out of recycled materials, whether it's a tyre gauge to check you've got 33mm tyres for the latest national trophy, whether it is the latest jacket, jersey, zip-off legs, etc. And then make sure you jump on to the Gritty website and find links in those emails. You can find them online. Just search Gritty Sustainable Apparel. And don't forget, you need to support the people who support your sport. They look after not only the Donny Cjhaingang members who keep the show on the road, they also, of course, are supporting the Mountain Bike Series, National Series, the Cyclocross National Series, lots of independent events and smaller or bigger independent single events, but they are also now setting up their own team. And you can be part of the Gritty experience. So basically, all you need to do is send them a CV and a covering letter, telling them why you think you should be part of their off-road team. So, jump on board, have a chat with Neil and Caroline, and maybe you're going to be the latest person signed up for the Gritty team. So make sure you get the details in and get them across. I know Neil will be getting ready for the National Trophy, which is down in Paynton for the in the cyclocross, and Neil and Caroline both riding. And Caroline back on the bike. I know a number of people have been asking, and back on the bike. Second ride back on the bike after a interface by braking herself to a standstill with a kneecap, basically. So the gang a little strung out at the moment, a little bit of plain snakes as the riders come through. If you're new to the Cjhaingang, if you've not seen it before, let's explain the format to you. It's really simple. Basically, stay around yellow. Yellow will ramp up the pace until we reach the 3 G's and 3 O's. So imagine putting those letters together. I'll give you a clue. The first third of it says go. After that, there's 2 more of those. And at that point, all the rules don't apply. There are no rules. It's about getting in and through that finish as fast as you want to. So go, give it some beans, go as fast as you want. Get yourselves into that finishing line as fast as you want. You will find basically that the Cjhaingang, the Donny Cjhaingang, will explode at the moment that Russ pulls the trigger and says the 3 G's and 3 O's. When that happens, there will be an injection of pace. Stay with it as long as you can. You will find that you get a better FTP. You will find you can start going quicker. You'll find you hang on in there longer. And if you are up there at the finish, as we always say, you basically are a pro, have been a pro, or should have been a pro. It's that easy. Honest. So if you are top level, then you're going to find the very front is for you. Between there and the back will be every level of ability, every single type of rider. Some riders will be big, some riders will be small. Some riders will be whippets, others will be big bull mastiffs. Some of our riders will be able to put down the power for 20 minutes unflinchingly like an Autobot. Some riders will be able to sprint and put out thousands of watts for a few seconds and then blow it spectacularly. Every type of rider there is will be on the gang. You will find somebody. Pick a rider, jump on board. Chris Callum is a whippet. He identifies as a whippet. Chris, I'm with you. I identify as a whippet as well. And an oak tree. And a GSP. And an ice cream. And lasagna, actually. There you go. Definitely don't identify as a very fast bike rider. Not at the minute. That might change. 2 weeks of riding coming up. Hopefully, if my regular training partner makes it out into France, which is where we are at the moment. So here in the full speed event studio. Dale Williams, yes, you've missed the climb, mate. It's totally gone. Any top was on 22 watts per kilo this week. I know, Tom, 22 watts per kilo. That means A, you can put out phenomenal power, and B, it means you probably don't weigh very much. In fact, probably as much as my right shoe. We must always get better with fine wine. Like fine wine. Indeed, some people identify it as fine wine. I'm not sure what sort of wine I heard these days. Something rustic. Tom, it blows his mind. It does me. 22. I think at peak, I did 2,200 watts when I weighed about 72 kilos for about 2.5, 3 seconds, but flipping out. I was absolutely crippled. I'd done nothing really before it. I could do nothing after it, and I certainly couldn't ride well afterwards. To put in that kind of power is absolutely crazy. In fact, I laid in the corner shivering and being very violently ill at the time when I did that. It was a long time ago. Now, we have a climb coming up at the end of this. At the moment, our riders just making their way up the long twists and turns. You can see it here laid out underneath our riders. We've made our way through the marina. We're on to the climb up towards the Italian villas. These are the hairpin turns. We're just watching Neil from Gritty. Now, key supporters. Support people who support your sport. You can spend your money at a nameless, faceless internet giant that's going to go bust and get laid down and have no comeback for all those things you bought. Or what you could do is you can support a local business or somebody who supports cycling. They're going to put some of the money back into your bike races, look after the riders, and probably do a nice little jig every time you order from them instead of thinking, oh, that's another little bean in my big pile of beans. If you don't support the people who support your sport, guys who look after the Cjhaingang, they're all the way across the bottom of your screen. They are real people riding real bikes with real life, real kids, eating real food. They're not just some random internet giant that is just going to be plowing the money into shareholders and then negotiating its own tax bill. It doesn't work that way. These guys are looking after you. So whoever it is, if in doubt, jump on, spend your money down there. Think about who you spend your money with. You know, do you want to just some random person? No, you've got to look after the people who can put the money where their mouth is, who are looking after the sport. And that could be down in cycling with the team there. Not only do you get world-class coaching, but you also, of course, are going to be supporting the people who support Cjhaingang, Ross, Dean, and all of their coaches, Jeff Tinley, Stuart, and Go. Don't forget, of course, full speed events. We certainly put our money where our mouth is, well and truly. And we also spend a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears making it happen. In fact, I actually spent one of the reasons I'm late. I was actually on a site visit for a local event this afternoon, a local cyclocross, a brand new venue. Having a little look down there and seeing what it looked like. It looked absolutely amazing. I was really impressed, I have to say. Whether it's a scenic that's going past the waterfalls on Zwift, I'm not so sure. It's certainly got a water feature running across the bottom of the area, and you can see the big effect and the water fountain from it, but it's maybe not quite as sunny at the moment. It's nearly there, and it's got some incredible banks and twists and turns. But yeah, we put on many methods, looking after local events, supporting, helping race organisers, putting on the Wow Cjhaingang, which we basically put all that time into as well, and make that happen. We also support events like the Untitled Cyclocross. We are in the country, in the UK, for that. Don't forget, of course, we also support a lot of events of different types. So supporting a gravel sportive, a road Flanders style ride, looking after all sorts of different races, and we're going to be continuing to look after the WOW and the Donny Cjhaingang all the way through to March of this year. Going to be keeping the season on the road. And the people that you can see across the bottom of your screen, 1080 in at 1080, a long time supporter with the best shades in the business, Oakleys of course, and as a long time Oakley wearer, definitely got to say it's well worth the investment in proper eyewear. It will protect your eyes, it does stop everything flying up, and whether that is going to be looking after you with some proper blue screen tint sort of proof lenses in your glasses that are designed for gaming, or whether that is going to be having the latest pair of wraparounds that match the style, then that will get you. They'll get you there, and they'll tell you what fits, what doesn't fit, what shape, what lenses you can have them customised. You can even have the 3Gs and the 3Os on there if you want. Other things, of course, that you can pick up from the various people out and about. Well, you can get hold of lots of great tyres. Goodyear tyres supporting us, so Cambion tyres, Shelley Chance, and the gang over in Aberystwyth. Great to see the riders who are supported by Continental, been looked after by them and by Goodyear tyres. Goodyear tyres are our supporters. So this month we have Gritty looking after our riders, and Gritty, of course, with a great giveaway. So 20% discount for members of the DCG gang. Plus, on top of that, also a giveaway to £250 worth of kit going out. We have Halo on there. Halo looked after the riders at the start with two of our riders, Jamie Pearson and I think it was Mark Woodward, if I remember correctly. Getting two prizes, 150 and a £100 giveaway for them. We also have got coming up in December support from OTE, the best sport product in terms of nutrition. Lots of gluten-free products. If you are gluten-free like me, not our choice, believe me. It's not a lifestyle choice. Oh my goodness, no. So don't forget, look after people who are going to be supporting your sport. After the new year, we're going to be in to Goodyear. Goodyear is going to be looking after our riders, and then, or when we've done that, then yeah, we're going to have a different supporter in February. That is going to be none us, the one and only Stefano Borelli and Maurizio. Going to be looking after our members of the DCG gang. Watch out for that coming out from members of the DCG gang. Don't forget, of course, if you are a member of the DCG gang, you also get to jump on board, and guess what? You get all of the links direct to your inbox. You get to ride on a night time. You get to ride on Tuesday night. You also get all the links. You get the discount codes. You get the route details as soon as come out each month. And you're going to be in that giveaway, so please do. If you can afford it, join up. If you can't afford it, don't worry. Totally understand. If you're an under 18 rider, if you're lucky enough to be under 18 like Finn Hilton, Harry Hudson, Tom Lindley, etc., etc., we've got quite a few riders, then don't forget we do a reduced price if you're under 18 and can prove it. No old folks, please. It doesn't work that way. We're trying to do it to try and support the next generations of riders coming through, people like Hudson's. And if you want to know, does it work? Jump in on the Chain Gang, jump onto the Facebook page and have a look at the post by Paul Hudson. Paul had a read of that. I want to stick it up on the wall and frame it. It absolutely sums up why we do the Chain Gang, why Russ and myself have been putting in so much time over the years. So interesting chat from Blair Richardson. Didn't make the Chain Gang, the WOW yesterday. Some strong rides on there. We saw some really interesting riding by the riders going up the climb. A great ride by Rebecca Waterfield to take the top spot as she came over the top of the volcano. Tom Lindley, Tom, if you sent your request to join the DCG Zwift Club, I would deal with it, but my phone is absolutely pancake flat. It literally is. I mean, I can't even scroll through the names. Also, the mouse has gone missing in action. I've been putting in requests downstairs to my phone went dead for that. And in fact, we may well leave you with the gang making the way through whilst I do a runner and get hold of the mouse so that I can actually scroll through some of our riders. So, don't forget, support the people who support you. Support them right across the base of your screens at the moment. We're going to leave you on the wonderful one that is Bobby Mason. And we're going to go find a mouse, not a squeaky sort, one that actually means we can operate the studio correctly. So back down into downtown. Come on, riders. Screaming back into the studio comes Matt. Nearly falls through the sides of the studio walls, which takes some doing. Great to see our riders looking good as they make their way in through still. Good sized bunch here. And now, by the added dexterity of having a decent race, we can actually work our way through some riders. Good to see we've got on board Mr. Port James on board. Mr. Chero in here. Let's have a little look at the run through. Big oh, yes, Ewan. Hi, Josh's mum. How are you? Hope all's good. I know Josh is a bit of a pain at times, but, you know, he's your son. You just have to live with it. It's all good, and he does love you, really, even though he's a bit of a pain at times. He's worth it, isn't he, because he is your son. So, Josh's mum, see you in a bit. That's duty's done, hopefully. Any more personalised shout-outs? Put it in there. I'm not proud. I don't start my shows with stuff I know every work. Might be a minor thing. Right, let's jump in with the Kuslux here on his way through. Josh Bond, there's probably too much information behind on if I can have a bath ready for 7:30. Probably too much information, mate, on a family show. Right. Let's have a look. In we go, Sharp. We've got Vin Donahoe in here, Vin, Tracy, and all the gang on the way in through the rise on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, and out as well. Whilst we're doing shout outs, Miss Cookie's watching from the comfort of her armchair. Says the one and only Andy Hawes. I had the pleasure of managing to walk. I was actually out in a field looking at storm damage. I was actually crying over a oak tree. I think it's probably about 80 years old, 100 years old or so. I'll be able to tell you soon because it's come down in the storm. and that's actually looking at the damage done there, and that was quite sad about the fact that we'd lost an 80, nearly 100-year-old oak outfield at the back. So when I do cut it through, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go count the rings. Not that anybody gives them monkeys in the slightest, but it'll make me happy. Right. Let's have a little check. Got Mr. Crawley on board. Let's just take in his Sadler, Mr. Mr. Thompson tucked in, Taylor Leach. Mr. Simonite is on as well. Always a quick man when it comes to putting his foot down. Just trying to work our way up to the front. You can tell this bunch is really tight. It's taking a little bit of rolling through to find everybody. Let's have a little look. In with Chris Spale of Rubon CC. Looks like Mr. Lowe, Sam Taylor in the group here. And nicely tucked in. Looks like Sam Anthony not all that far away as well. So it's going back under the patio. Yeah, no surprise. Well, looks like the world in France just had a power cut. But the studio rolling along, it's not going to affect us. Everything here, we are very green over here. Not just because we've got surrounded by oak trees and fields, but also because we have green energy supplying us in the studios, which is then converted into battery power, and the studios run off those. So we're going to have a low level consumption, consistent consumption. And in fact, we're surrounded by wind turbines as well. Not just your little ones that go up on the roof, some real big monsters. You wouldn't want to fall off the top, that's for sure, or be anywhere near them. Right. So here we go. Andy Hawes tucked in nicely. Let's see Andy back on the gang as well. Just trying to work out what Andy's kit is as we make our way down. So it looks like he's in the black there. I think I'm just looking at the right rider on the way through. No point going to the helicopter, man. That isn't going to work. There we are. Andy's there. Right on the front seat, second wheel at the moment. Looking good. Bearded up. Going for the non-aero. Right alongside Mr. Mason. Good to see Gareth on board once again. Gareth Mason in the yellow. Gareth, why the change of kit from black? I know you're probably likely to be watching somewhere on YouTube. Do let us know why the change of kit from the man in black to the yellow and blue, bright yellow socks as well. Even more of a target. I mean, he's a big enough target anyway, but he's even more of a target now. Mr. Mason, particularly on the front. Tom Elliott stuck in that group. Back in to see on the gang again. As everybody knows, we're on our way round. We've gone round once, we're on our way through. Zwift Racing League team kit. Aha, now that makes sense. So, tell us, Mr. Mason, how have you got on in the Zwift Racing League? Same for Tom Lynn. Tom, I can't even find you. I've been looking for you for the last 10 minutes. Just to wait till we're a bit closer to the finish and goes up there. Not more than 25 minutes. Was that our official lap score? It's none. Nice tucked into the centre of the street. Native from Belabats, actually a brown there. Mr. Dowtree in as well. Going to have Brett on board, another of our regulars. Mr. Mason, funny watching me do a CTT team time trial with 75 kilogram guys on Tempest Future. Oh yes, very entertaining, I'm sure. They'll basically just be hiding behind you. So steadily work our way through. The other two key tops in the group, which Langley in here. Looks like Mr. James in. So Rob James, one of our new riders in here. So keep pushing over the top, buddy. Don't lose that draft. Looking good at the moment. Nice and smooth. Nice RPM. Just winding up there. Just getting into that draft. Don't let the gaps go. Get stuck in. Try and get to the middle of the group, Mr. James. So whilst it's on the flat, get some squeezing room, get right up to the yellow beacon. That's really going to be key. Mr. Barr, just off the bat, he'll be stretching his legs. We all know just how classy Wayne Barr is from the Velocity 44 squad. As the pace ramps up, starting to see a few people just starting to get into problems of pace, steadily being pulled faster and faster. So keeping on those wheels is key. If you do get dropped, then make sure you get somebody to ride with. The back is a dangerous place to be. It's a bit like if you remember the old Don't Take the Hindmost. If you have the experience of riding in an elimination race on the track, if you're on the back, somebody lets the wheel go, they might have the power to sprint on. You might not. It's really key. Do not let the gaps go. Your race is getting as far down the rider as possible without letting a gap go. At the moment, it's like Burr from the set. Well, just Mr. Burr's just in there. Lindley's hovering around the back. So Mr. Lindley in his Lamprey inspired kit. Bobby Mason. Bobby, take the coffee break option. Hit the coffee break. So pull up in the center of the screen of the options, grab a coffee break, and that is what it's meant for. It's not a coffee break really. I hate to break it. Look, it's flooded with them now. Coffee break, what does it do? Oh, so the coffee break basically means that you'll stay with the yellow beacon. You jump off, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Jump off your bike. Once you've hit the coffee break, jump off the bike, go get a coffee, go do whatever you need to do. Come back, and you'll be still be in with that yellow beacon. You'll be hovering around that yellow beacon. It's absolutely brilliant. Coffee break winds people up if you put it in at the moment of the attack of the go, go, go. Coffee break is really important to use it when you need it. Don't use it when you don't need it. It's a really handy thing to have. It does make other riders tight stuff, yeah. It's got like this like reflex. It's like having Tourette's in people. It's a bit like talking about turbo trainer difficulty. Makes you have to buy a rocket. Indeed it does. And if you are in the market for the best coffee in the world ever.com, well, you've got to have the right machine to make it. It's no good putting the best coffee beans and the best sourced coffee anywhere in the world into a naff machine. It ain't going to work. How you brew it is in there. It's all in the grind. If you watch some first, anyone's name, what film Ewan McGregor said is all in the grind. About the coffee. There you go. That's a movie trivia for you. It's all about the grind. And that was McGregor. Very interesting. Well worth. Great fun. Matt and I need a caffeine break. Yeah, I always need a caffeine break. Okay, great for us. Oof, I'd love a rocket. Make it with an AeroPress though. Well, needs must. Like we say. Don't go beyond your means, it's not worth it. No matter what. Okay, let's take a little bit of a look at the back of the group. Looks like it is starting to split here because we are starting to lose one or two riders with the pace of the ride. Mr. Robertson just being distanced. So, Mr. Robertson and Mr. James, guys, get it together. Get with the plan, stand, jump on board, ride as a duo. You will not be last on the road if you do that because you will pick up more bodies, particularly when the trigger is pulled. We are currently at 18.3k, covered at 40.1k, which takes us to our finish. Just ball nicely on board here, tucked in with the game. Just one or two people starting to drop off the back of the pack. Riders being distanced and left behind. Now, apologies if you are missing the red beacon. Looking after the red beacon took pretty much as much time as all the rest of the chain gang together at times. So in terms of the chain gang admin, not podcast, so the membership of the DCG characters and Cjhaingang out of it. It was an absolutely monumental job. And let's be honest, it was the same old faces, the same old superstars who were doing the work. Core crew, year in, year out, doing that role, taking that on, supporting the many. So it's time to give them a break. Time for them to have a chance to enjoy the Cjhaingang, every Cjhaingang, and do what they can. So Russ says, Pro Espresso, support people who support your sport. Pro Espresso is Russ. You can jump onto the Pro Espresso website, touch Russ. If you're planning on getting a machine, he can tell you all of the inside out. You can geek off on coffee with one of those machines to your heart's content. So riders down past the fountain, once getting that leading back. Plenty of people on the way in towards that point. Dropping into the tight right, left, right complex of turns. On the gravel, kicking up the dust. Nice to know that we're all talking about coffee. So 35 minutes of riding for Mr. Emsley, for Mr. Taylor, for Mr. Hilbert, and the one and only Mr. Drabble. Now, can anybody stop this man? Would you stop this man? They bolted him together from pieces of titanium and carbon fibre. They made the machine that is Pete Drabble. Unstoppable, high speed. And at the moment, absolutely wiping the floor with people. We will see if it's going to continue, because we've got some really strong riders on the game. And the best thing about having Mr. Drabble on the gang is that basically the way that it works, the faster people you ride with, the faster you go. If you just ride with people who are slower than you, you are going to get slower. If you ride with people who are faster than you, guess what happens? You get faster. Really important. Now, Robertson and James still got a gap. Guys, get this together, will you? Not get a room, get it together. Really key. Now, Drabble, low. The back, Espejo in there, Lindley in there, Hudson, Taylor, Keyworth. Topping in here as well. Malin, Neil from British still on board. What do Neil's going to say? I've got to save my legs for the national trophy. Can't be long. Starting to ramp up, pace is kicking on. Good celebrity on board. See Brian back on the gang, Brian who has spent a lot of time ripping it up, winner of the game before now. Tucked in nicely, Ryan Crawley in here. Neil is going to be off soon, but probably because one of the things I haven't mentioned, I know a number of you already do. Neil said he would if it had stayed, no problems. Yes, Neil, of course you would. One thing I haven't said is, out for your delectation, for your listening pleasure and entertainment, we have the latest episode of the Crosscast. A Crosscast that features an extra special show, because we didn't just have one Matt, we had two. We had Matt Squared, we had Matt Ellis, the main man for cyclocross within GB. Bit pertinent timing given the results from the European Championships. So really love it if you would jump onto Spotify, onto Apple, onto your Google Podcasts or any other platform that you get them. jump on board or jump onto my social media at Matt Thinks of Pain. You'll find the link in there to the Crosscast episode on the link tree on the social media. Jump on board. We have got a great episode for you. It was absolutely blisteringly fun to do. We had a great time chatting over the world and the universe and everything with Matt Ellis, Neil and I. Neil, of course, and myself are regulars, with a whole host of wonderful people coming to join us who do amazing things within the cross world, within the cyclocross world. Do download it. The Crosscast, the Cyclocross podcast. We're in season number 7. And Matt Ellis actually was a guest on our very first season. His first year in the job back in 2017. We are on year 7. We'd love to go keep on going with it. It is great fun. We get to talk about what we love best, which is bike riding and racing. And hopefully it keeps you a little bit entertained, particularly if you've got a relatively long drive, because we don't ever manage to record a show that's less than an hour. It's not one of your formulaic 33 minutes wham bam done right next. This is a real show done by enthusiasts and hopefully our passion for bike riding, for racing and for bikes in general comes through in that, and we'd love you through it. If you enjoy it, don't forget you can always buy us a virtual coffee. So buymeacoffee.com/thecrosscast, and on there you can buy us a virtual coffee. It helps us pay for things like streaming of the Crosscast, the editing. Neil spends a lot of time editing out my bloopers and making sure that I don't embarrass myself. So it's something too controversial on there. It's quite nice having quite a lot of freedom now, particularly about some things that I didn't maybe previously have the freedom to talk about quite the same way. So great to be able to get the episodes out there. If you want to hear what they are, if you want to hear, more importantly, what Neil and what Matt Ellis have to say, then please do download it. It's out right now, wherever you get your podcasts. Right. Another job. Ticked off the box. That's the checklist. There is a checklist somewhere, mostly in my head. Things that we have to make sure it's not there to say it later. Neil from Crosscast did edit some of the comments this show. Oh, I can't wait to. I haven't actually listened to the finished, polished article. It's probably fair to say there was a lot of me got edited out. I would imagine that's highly likely. We'll see. We have actually done a show where there was 0 edits. Only one in 7 years that had no edits in it whatsoever. Very proud of that. Matt Nunn, DCG membership should include full cut of the Crosscast with no edits. Well, I quite like that idea, but I really don't like that idea. Maybe if we have to get you all to sign a disclaimer and it can't ever be used in evidence against us. It's never bad, actually. It's not actually really bad. And we certainly don't want our guests saying something that they'll regret. That's not fun. Now, Russ at the moment, just having a little bit of a moment. Just continuing onwards. Andy Hawes, looks like Andy of Hawes Tours. He's now about to take the tour. He's got Mr. Lowe just behind him, Mr. James as well. So plenty of buzz behind. So the riders coming through to complete their next lap. 24.3k done. One more lap, then head out and up to onto the climb to go. So one full lap plus climb to go, ladies and gentlemen, as we head on the way through. So just seeing if Mr. Lowe is going to be in to the finish. Yeah, from the Crosscast, he's going to be jumping off soon. Still in there, going all the way to the end. Riders using up some of the power-ups. Oh, back in the early days, we did long interviews. We did, because there was no cyclocross TV coverage. Yeah, we did so. So yes, you can go back and listen to Tom Pidcock, Richards, lots of us. So many people. We don't do it so much anymore because you get your fill of the cyclocross riders talking quite often on TV. Social media has moved on, and most of the cyclocross riders now engage with that as well. Lots of people streaming their course preview videos, etc. So the show has evolved. Hopefully it's got better in everybody's eyes or ears, and yeah, very interesting to have a little listen back. You can download and listen to them all if you're really that sad, twisted, and it's go, go, go! It's go, go, go! Wow, that is early. 25.4k of 40.1k, and the go, go, go has gone. It has happened. The fuse has been lit. Oh, look at that. There's a few anvils being put in because it's on a slightly downhill section. As Neil from the Grosska says, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. It's go, go, go time. It's time to see who is going to be able to power away. Can anybody stop? And then for double, Neil, have a good weekend. I hope you have a smooth ride, lots of grip and plenty of speed. Remember, it's all about momentum. So let's see where people choose to go today. If the rumours are true, Mr. Drabble, who is tucked in here, is going to be in there. Oh, wrong power for Mr. Lindley, that'd be interesting. Let's have a little look who's going well, who's tucked in. Groot's looking quite good here. Just going to take a roll back to Neil. Neil has indeed left the party. Going to be making his way around. Looks like we've got 3 riders together. Really interesting. We've got Mr. Kennedy here, Mr. Hopkinson, and the big surprise here is Mr. Keyworth is not in the point. He's been distanced. Mr. Morgan also gone. Brent Downtree in trouble. Mr. Gerald is not in, and John Garford now losing touch. So quite a cast of riders behind that main group. Guys, get it together. Jump on board. Make sure you get together and ride as a group. It might be that you're going to see people pretty quickly. Now, let's take a little bit of a look on the road. Tom Lindley saying he's been going on a bit of a mission. I'm trying to make my way up there, mate. Believe me. Which can't actually get hold of, get onto the app. So it was indeed Vin Donahoe who's just being brought back into the fold. The push coming up over the top. Interesting to see us pushing early doors. Rob Farty's doing that. Samuel Taylor, though, is going to lead them up on to the climb. The youngster at 6 watts per kilo. He's going to make some legs hurt back there. This is the kicker out and up from the tunnels through this section and then up onto the climb. Is he going to be able to climb up at that pace? He's kicked through here. Looks good at the moment. Let's go underneath through the tunnels, back in once again. Sunnycliffe in there. Spot is on board as well. Crawley on board. Sharp, Johnson in there. Mason's in. Looks like Richardson took nicely into this group as well. The Aeonian race team. Here we go, hitting the climb. Let's see who's going to really wind it up on here. You're going to see the big power monsters giving it some on the way up here to cope with the power to weight ratio of our lightweight riders. Just seen Tracy Seeley going in through. Russ having to kick there. I think I'm seeing some very big numbers. I'm seeing double digits coming as we go up and through. The front of this group is being wound up, and it looks to me like Russ is on the trail of a certain Mr. Lindley. Tom Lindley went early, he went hard on there. He's trying to break this group up a little bit. Drabble is sat on the back wheel of Russ. He's literally got towed across there and brought back one attack. Nathan from Velabats rolls up. He's not going to go right on to the front because I think that is going to be Burn of Sitwell, who's gone right the way through. He's come up through and over the top at 5.6 watts per kilo. This is going to be all about making sure you've got pace, you've got power, and you can stay with the leaders. Answer the moves if you're feeling strong enough, but this attack is splitting the group. You take a look at the top of your screen as we just start to zoom over the top. There are two big groups now, and that is going to be doing some serious damage. The back of the group, well, the back of the first group looks to be some very strong riders. The distance, Vin Donahoe has been distanced here from that main group. Simonite has been distanced from that group. Ball 2P4 main, ball to James Hawkins. Emsley, Richardson's caught on the wrong side of the split as well. You can see those two groups clearly top right hand side of your screen. Let's get that helicopter up. Front bunch has gone. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 riders who have been caught the wrong side of a split here as they come through and onto the turns, onto the climb. We're just above Mick Hawkins here. Ball is in here. Richardson, we said, was in here. Tukey is in this group as well. This is a dangerous moment for every single one of these riders, and it looks to me like Donahoe is trying to get himself across to this group. You've got Mason leading the charge behind. I'm not sure he can get there. Kuntz looks is sat at the back of this group, and I don't think he's going to be able to go back, tow them forward. That'd be a very brave man. But it is Mason, the first rider, who's likely to get back into contact. He's putting a massive effort though, and this is a really harsh place to have to do that on these climbs. So Mason closing in on the back wheel of that leading group. He's 5 seconds back to the group behind. Mason about to make contact. Here he comes, into contact goes Mason, now 6 seconds back to Donahoe, to Simonite, to Taylor, to Porter James Hawkins, Ball, Emsley, and none in here. Chris Gale is in here. This is a big, big group of riders, and they are in some major, major trouble at the moment. Canham is in this group. This is the third group on the road. They're 26 seconds down on group 2, which are the ones on our screen. They're immediately behind group number 1. Group number 1 up the road by what is looking like about 12 seconds. Now 13, so 13 seconds back. Seeing a push coming in now. Mason's just about holding the wheels. He just got on and the squeeze has come again. And Mason's in trouble here. Come on, Gareth. Squeeze those thighs. It's time to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You've got to push, push, push. You've got to get round to the left-hand turn with the group. He just made contact, but look how fast this gap has opened up. And it's splitting in the front again because of the power that's being put on, the pace that's being put on this lead group again. In danger if you're not in with the leaders as the attacks are going. You're not in a position to stay with the right moves. You're the wrong side of a break, and I think maybe they're looking to catch out Drabble here by getting him on the wrong side of a break. Isaac Oliver with Drabble, with Oxenham right at the front at the moment. Phil Howell not far off the pace either, as you can just see. The anvil going in from Isaac Oliver, the youngster using that power on the descent here. That is one long line at the moment. One long line as they come down. So the end of the leading group looks to be being brought up by Russ Downing. He's at the back of this long chain of riders. He's got the steamroller engaged as you come in through. This is the time you've got to make it count. It works on the pave, on the cobbles. It also works on the gravel section here as well. It rolls it flat, and I think Russ is going to kick across to the group. Any of the riders he was with are not going to be there. They're currently being distanced off the back, and you've really got to push. Just taking a look a little bit further around here. This is the topping group with Tracy Seeley, the Terminator in here, Steve Hilbert in, Paul Mallin in this group as well. A little bit further back, you've got Bobby Mason with Mr. Brewer. Then we're going to drop about 20 seconds back, so it's going to be Garth Keyworth, Hopkinson, Downtree. Then it's Kennedy and Stachero. A little bit further back will be Andy Horse, and Mr. James continuing to push on Great Writer. So let's roll our way back up towards that very front group. So this is the back of group number 2. So these are the riders from 49 through to, that's going to be round about the 38 marker. And then a little bit further down the road, well, you can see there are riders being distanced. So Simonite now gaps from the lead group. Koostlinks has gone as well. The man from the Stelton not in touch. Taylor Leach has gone. That's a surprise talented rider like Leach. Espeo in the company of Sharp, Moore and Richardson have gone from that leading group as well. That means that this is riders number 27 through to 24. Whitehead the nearest rider to the back. Russ tucked in here. We take the right hand turn. Here we go on to this punchy little climb. Russ has gone to the front here. This is the start of the ascent to the finish. It's a long way up from here because we go into the volcano. We go through the mountain, round the base of the mountain, and then we climb up on to the side of the volcano where the climb proper starts. So this is the run for the climb proper. This is the first real kicker that the riders have to deal with. Another rider pushing on the front here. Looks to me like that is going to be Aidy Dench, who's opened up a gap coming through here, who's working Crawley and Oliver, Drabble, Oxenden, Byrne, Lindley. Barr's working hard at the moment as well. He was up at 4.5 watts per kilo, and we could see another split being forced here by the power of Aidy Dench. You can see the group that was initially forged clear when the group split into 2, leading group split into 2. This group was forged. Is it going to come to another split here? I'm just going to take a little bit of a look back. I think they're all going to get back in, but at what cost? How much damage is that going to have done to the riders? As we come through, the temperature hotting up as hot as the magma in the volcano here. It's definitely tough stuff. Just all watching the back of this group. Gareth License, Dale Williams just in the danger zone, just losing contact with the back wheels here of the riders in front. That's going to be License and Osman. Aaron Fine as you go into that volcano, the kick up, the roll over the top, absolutely brutal. You've got to keep all the way through, get distance there, you are in trouble. And I think it's going to be curtains certainly for Williams and for Sadler and Co. I think a License is in pretty big trouble here. So is Osman. Nathan from Velabaz might just about make it on board. But I tell you something, 19 riders in the leading group at the moment. A real who's who of the Donny Cjhaingang on Zwift. As Aaron Cooley tucked nicely in with that group. Rider definitely at home now with the front of this. Josh Bond's warmed up now. Why have you jumped in the bath, mate? It's not a bath. It's a coffee break, not a bath break, mate. So, leading group 19 riders. Let's have a little check through here. Chopping Crawley in here. Barr. We've got Dench, Tunnicliffe, Cooley in the group. I think Howell took nicely in there as well. Taking that left-hand turn. And no turning right for the Devil's Gate. aka the entrance to a climb portal. Just evil. Why would you?
I know. I'm just going to go climb. I'm just going to ride along really nice, then I'm going to go onto a climb portal.
No, don't do it. What is wrong with you to whip yourself with them? Or wear horsehair shirts or, you know, do even stranger things. Oh, I'm just going to go up a big climb without actually riding a route to get there first. Don't do it. Madness. Absolute madness. Okay. Am I running over a back climb portal? Give us a descending portal. I'm going to keep on saying it together. Every time there's like 9 climb portals, 10 should be a descent portal. drops. Okay, into the left-hand turn. This group of 90 still not being whittled down enough, I think, for most people's liking in that leading group. 19 riders, this big number, taking the left-hand sweeping bend. You can see the main part of the course goes right. Russ already wishing the climbers luck when they hit the ascent, because this is where things are going to get very tough indeed. You can just see the riders starting to line up near the front. As we take a look, they're about to come left here on to the turn. Taylor Leach only doing now today, so thank you very much for joining us, Taylor. On to the climb we go. We're in with Drabble, the man most likely to put in a full-on winning attack. However, will the RAF boys live up to the billing? Lindley has gone off the front. He ghosted that out, didn't he? That was a sneaky move. He's up the front now, though. He's got the gap open. He's got it just kicked to the summit. Can he stay clear? He's given himself a great chance now as Bond kicks at 9.9 watts per kilo. He tried to go. Crawley's there. Drabble is sitting in the wheels a little bit more than maybe normal. Then it's Burton, Finley Hudson, Isaac Oliver and co. really working the way through. Meanwhile, just jump back to some of the riders a little bit further downhill. Don't blame me, don't know what on earth happened there. Nathan a little bit further back, apologies for just losing the front of that group. As now it is going to be Drabble on the front. I think Lindley has dropped out of the game, which backs back out to the riders behind. Just wait to see where he is. I think he's had a complete drop out there, which is why we drop backwards out from the group. So it's Drabble in 1, Isaac Oliver in 2, it's going to be Byrne in 3, Holwell in 4, Hudson in 5, just about. He's got the company of Bond, Crawley, Campbell is right on his heels as well. Cooley a little bit further down, but immediately behind him, Wayne Barr, Simon Oxenden. We've got Hutch in there, down him, pulling a big group up here, including Nathan Dench, Tom Elliott, and Tony Cliff. Looks like Wallace is not all that far off his wheels. Osmond has the company licence just in front of him in the red and black to his left. Nathan from Velo Bands. Then it's going to be 22 seconds back to Dale Williams. Dale with Captain Whitehead, Sharp, Richardson and more in that group behind. At the moment as we make our way back towards that very front group, we'll get ourselves right up, just making our way up to the front of that pack. Isaac Oliver currently leading the ride out here on the Donny Cjhaingang. Winding it up on the front, you can see the ascent, you can see how far we've climbed already. Remember, we have to make it right the way to the top of the volcano. If you haven't ridden this is like a flight of stairs followed by a landing, followed by another flight of stairs, followed by a landing. And then at the very top, they didn't bother with this flight of stairs, they just put a blooming steep ladder up there for you to climb up to finish it off, because that is what it's like. The gradient at the end, the steepest part is right at the very top of the climb, and then it levels off. And of course, once we go through the QOM or KOM banner, depending on what is relevant for you, then once we go through that, we just have that warm down to collect the drops points on the way down. Make sure you make the most of that descent. Now, the gaps are well and truly here, have opened up license. About to go into the tunnels. Downing with the back of this group, 17th place, but you can see it as well and truly split. Finley Hudson currently in no man's land. He's got Cooley 10 seconds behind Dench, Downing and co at 17 seconds. 8 seconds up the road is Campbell. Campbell at the moment being distanced by Bond. Bond showing his class. Campbell, well, I'm not sure what he's showing us, apart from the fact he's clearly hurting. 167 beats per minute. So it looks like he's just about starting to get warmed up. He's being left for dead at the moment by Bond. Campbell's got to do something about this, or he's going to be buying the drinks in the bar or the ice creams for the next time they can go top up the tan. We'll see if that's going to be the case. As up on the front, Byrne chasing Crawley, chasing Oliver with Hubble, with Drabble up there with Holwell as well. Homogenising Holwell and Drabble, that's interesting. Be an interesting rider. Here we go, onto the boardwalk, still ascending all the way up here. We have just over one full circumnavigation of the volcano. Then when we've done that, we'll be up at the banner. You can just see we're almost adjacent to the banner. The banner, though, is a long way up above the riders. Now on to the next boardwalk. 3 riders, Phil Holwell, Isaac Oliver and Pete Drabble. They are your leading 3 riders. 25 metres behind Ryan Crawley. Sits at 2 seconds, 9 seconds down. That is going to be Byrne and Bond. The 2 riders chasing. Then it's going to be Campbell, followed by Hudson, Cooley, Dench and Downing. Wallace is right on their heels. Tunnicliffe not far off that. It is a long chain down there, but the leading group, well, they're just in front of the man who's just kicked at 9.5 watts per kilo. He's on his way. Is this charge through from Drabble? No, he eases right off. He kicked, he stopped, he waited. He didn't do it that time round. Clearly not there. Was that a false start there by Drabble? Is he not feeling as confident, or is he on the much touted bit of recovery? Well, only time will tell, and time is running out. We're heading in towards the top slopes here. You can just see this is about that run for line. Now, when we come up here, it's going to kick, and it is going to kick steep. When we say steep, we mean the sort of gradients that make your eyes water, your legs burn, and your lungs are on fire. Because here we go, this is the run for the line, the kick has come. Oliver is going for this, Holwell going for this. The kick is coming from Holwell, he's got the front, he's got 6 metres, can he do it? Drabble's gone over the top. Drabble is going to take this, it's Drabble who takes the win. Holwell a fantastic second. It's going to be Oliver in 3rd place there. What a ride by the riders. Absolutely flying the way on the circuit. Apologies that we've had to go drop out and back in. The ride distance super short tonight, so we're not able to follow riders beyond the line, so apologies for that. We're going to try and work our way back up to the next riders in through the line. It's to be Bond, the next rider. Apologies, we missed you on the way through. So Bond goes through the line, then it's going to be Byrne, followed by Hudson. So Byrne goes through, then it's going to be Hudson, then it's going to be Cooley. Cooley just making his way up. Oh, going to get just rolled by Downing as he goes through. Thank you very much, Russ. Leading tonight as always, so almost always. Wallace going to go through ahead of AD Dench in 13th place, I think, from Bart, from Elliott, from Tunnicliffe. Then it's going to be Hutch with Oxenham. Oxenham, oh, just about getting that. Then it's going to be Gareth Licence. Licence, the next rider onto this steep section. He has 33 metres back to Osman. So Drabble's time is 6:23.3. 6:23.3 for Pete Drabble up there, the fastest time up the volcano. Holwell 6:24.1, Oliver 6:24.8, Crawley 6:37.2, followed by Bond of the RAF at 6:52.4. 5 riders inside 7 minutes up the climb here at the end. Our next rider in will be Gareth Licence. He comes in to the line. He's chased all the way here by Paul Simonak from Sitwell CC. Then it's going to be Osman, followed by Nathan from Velobans. Then it's going to be MJ. Next of our riders up just clear here, about 35 metres or so, I think, from Keith Richardson. So Richardson is on as well. Way up here, as Russ says, keep pushing, find a rhythm and a wheel. Always better to go riding with friends than solo. So Richardson in and through now. We are going to jump across to Mr. Sharp. He's up and over the top as well. Montgomery, I think in through, he's going to go dive back through, because I think we're going to need to do another little run up the road to Mr. Donahoe, who's almost up at the top. Neil Tukey here on the run for the line, so it's going to be Whitehead. He's going to watch his back. He's going to watch it. Oh, he sees him go through. Tukey goes through, rolls him. Espeo goes through. Mick Hawkins on his way with Donahoe, with ball. Making way up and through the line. Richardson on her way up here. So Claire Richardson, I think, is going to be our first female rider through. Apologies, Tracy, if you've gone through in front. I know you put absolutely everything out there yesterday with the new personal best heart rate as well. A ridiculously high 203. Does that mean if it's 220 minus your age, you're on the 17, Tracy? Don't think so. So Richardson goes through. Gale's going to be our next rider, followed by Nunn. Then it's going to be Main and Thompson just ahead of Gale. Gale actually coming hard in, just trying to close that gap down. He's got slightly better power now. They are matched as they come up. So Thompson and Gale coming through. Then it's going to be Paul Mallon ahead of Forrester, Woodall, Langmead and Tracy Seeley on the way up to the top of the climb. So Mallon on the steep upper slopes of 10+%. It really does get steep on here. And once it starts really kicking, you see 9% hitting the upper slopes. Good time to feather 10% now as Forrester kicks up this slope. Really key. Having that feather, really good move. Nice times. It's going to be Richie Woodall. Really good cadence. 102 revs per minute. Being chased to the line by Tracy Seeley, who's doing half the cadence again. Tracy on another workout here. Like me going up to the line with her, then it's going to be Steve Hilbert. Hilbert from Sherwood Pines squad. Don't forget, you can go and find the wonderful paintwork done on the side. Do look carefully. Donny Cjhaingang rider who paid the sign for the team at Sherwood Pines. Then it's going to be Dick Small just in on his way to the line, just ahead of Chris Canham. Canham sprinting his way up, using that power to good effect as he makes his way in underneath the gantry. Then it's going to be May Clark with John Garford just behind him. So over the line goes John Garford, the Royal Navy Cycling, Royal Navy Royal Marines Cycling Association. It's the full title. Makes his way up to the top. This circumnavigation at the top and into that blue banner for John. Another good ride by John. Then it's going to be Mr. Brewer. Nice pedal games here, spinning nicely. Top quick enough for Keith Richardson. Keith after the right out the great outdoors for us. Do a little sneaky jump back, I'm afraid, as Hopkinson makes his way up to the top of the climb. It's just going to go through just ahead of Andy Keyworth. So Hopkinson, then Keyworth being chased by Brett Dowtry. So Keyworth out of the sun, those lightweight wheels coming in into good effect on the climb, starts to spin up underneath the gantry. He goes. Brett Dowtry, the next rider on his way to the line. Deeper wheels, but not full disc for Brett on the way up. Looking pretty smooth here. Again, just keeping that gear just right, kicking his way through. So good to see Brett back on the gang. And Bobby Mason will be our next rider. So Bobby, one of the real nice guys of the Cjhaingang, hits the line. He's in underneath the gantry. I think next up will be Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Stachero, and then it should be Rob James. James on his way round to the start of the time to climb. So it's Kennedy, Stachero, and James at the moment. Just thinking a big classical sort of trio. Kennedy, Stachero, and James. Just taking a look, steep section, final kick coming up, I think, for Kennedy. As he comes round, you can just see the circle starting to narrow. The last section, of course, kicking right up. You see the bridges that we've been riding across. You can see the epic climb in the distance. You can see the coastal route. We went up the little bridge, we dropped down that big bridge behind, and now obscured by the lava, the smoke and the steam as the yacht sailed down on the shoreline. The first bridge that comes into view behind Mr. Kennedy is where we were last week. I must thank you to Jimmy for leaving last Thursday. Don't forget, of course, if you want to jump on board and join Messieurs Kennedy, Stachero and James on Cjhaingang, then you need to register in advance for the Donny Cjhaingang on a Thursday. You need to be a member of the DCG gang. That's the members supporters club. That's the supporters club for the people who help us make it all happen. And we say thanks with the help of the team at Gritty and all our commercial supporters below. If you want to ride on a Wednesday, well, you need to be on Women's Only Wednesday, or of course you can watch on So this coming out to you on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel, the Wow Women Only Wednesday coming out on the Full Speed Adventure channel. Don't forget, you can catch up with what we're up to. This weekend's quite a busy weekend for us. I'm going to be bringing the Sunday Race Club, the Esports Race Club. That's going to be our usual Sunday morning gig. You need to go onto my social media for that. Don't forget, when you do go on there, that you do need to give us a follow. Make sure you jump on board and have a read of what we get up to. Emma is going to be hosting the World Championships. That's the mountain bike cross-country eliminator World Championships. That's coming from Blancaraya. Great course. Had a little look back at the footage from last year today, and really interesting course. Big drop down on the way through, and that final chicane full of interesting moves. Really key to be able to sprint, and a sprint is what Stachero needs to do now. Over the top, the last few pedal strokes, buddy, as you come over through the line. Great ride. Time to spin those legs out. Now that means we should have one more rider, and that is going to be Mr. James. He's going to take the left-hand turn. So watching onto the left-hand turn. Thing to do here, buddy. Push on the steep sections, recover on the flat sections, you go quicker. It's a great little technique if you're on the kicker here. So James taking that left-hand turn, he's on his way on to the climb in. So you can see the climb portal going to come, the climb line, don't like portals, climb line on its way. Coming up here, 3.8k to the summit for Mr. James as he hits the climbing range of times on that climb. Stachero at 11:46. So it depends on how Mr. James' climbing legs are fit, so how fast he's going to make his way up there. Now, whilst James makes his way on to the climb, let me just do a little bit of tidying up for everybody. So, quick reminder, this is only possible, the show, the ride, looking after everybody, is only possible because we have the support of the members of the DCG gang. They are the people who make it happen, and because they donate every month, they are in the prize draws. So we are going to be giving away £250 worth of vouchers for the wonderful people at Gritty. You can see them up there, the Gritty Sustainable Sports Apparel, and of course Gritty available. Make sure you go on there. It minimises the impact of what we do on our hobby, our sport, when we're out there. Now, if you want to jump on board and be part of that, donate to the gang and join, you can do so. It's www.buytickets.at/fullspeedevents. If you want to ride on a Thursday, you need to register. Guess where you do it? Same place. Guess what? You want to ride on the WOW on the Women Only Wednesdays Cjhaingang. Guess what? Same place. Do all that. Join the gang. Jump on board, get the discounts, get in the giveaways, fantastic discounts, Halo, looking after everybody last month. This month it's Gritty. Gritty looking after the members all the way through the season. 20% discount. Saying that again. 20% discount from Gritty all season long. Support the people who support your sport. They're up there on your screen. They've been across the bottom all the way through. And if you're a member, you get to ride on Tuesdays and join the DCG gang, the Zwift Club and the Supporters Club. Get on board, jump on the Facebook pages, jump in with the Donny Cjhaingang, and we will be bringing you out and around the circuit. Don't forget, of course, that Russ Downing of Downing Cycling and all the team there looking after everybody, and of course, Full Speed Events. That's Emma, myself, and the team behind the scenes making it happen. A big thank you to everybody who works with me on that. It really is important. We couldn't do this if it wasn't for the support of Emma and all the rest of the gang. And Emma, of course, will be back on Wednesday with the WOW. The Tuesday ride will be rolling. At the weekend, there's plenty going on. I'm looking forward to bringing the action from the Sunday Race Club. And, of course, watching the coverage with Emma of the XCE Eliminator, where the riders are going to be racing for about a minute and a bit each lap. I think it's 1 minute 30 laps. A little bit longer to the top of the climb here in Watopia. Mr. James on his way up that climb. So you can see already the bridge in the distance looking very diminutive indeed. You can see that as we make our way up the climb, in the background the yachts, the sandbar that we came across has well and truly got smaller as that height is gained, ascending it here. James revving about 73 revs per minute, just on this 4% slope at the moment. You can see the road below weaving its way around, and looks to me like nice ticking up here, Mr. James. At the moment, you can see currently has the loop round that goes through the volcano to do. Then it's the loop that takes you basically, which you completed one loop, which includes going through the volcano. You've got one more loop which goes round the side and spirals up to the summit. So 2 more circumnavigations of the volcano, albeit with a quick trip inside the volcano. Just because why not? If you could build your own world, what would it have in it? Would it have a volcano? Mine would have a dragon. It would have a dragon on the way through. Maybe you'd have a power-up when you hit. When you hit the power-up, it would summon the dragon. And it would either give you, pick you up in its claws and drop you further up the climb. That sounds good to me. Or maybe it just burn all the opposition and scorch the tyres. Something like that. Sounds pretty cool. Dear Eric, I'd like for Christmas a dragon on Zwift. Never know. Might be listening. If you are, thanks for all the support. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the help with all the team as well. Some good progress up here to get along nicely. 14 kph, 37.8k done. Moving smoothly up around the side of the climb at the moment. So we take that left hand turn into the tunnels. So the helicopter just backs up into the sky. Clearly just want to get the skin scorched. It gives a really good shot of the roadway heading up towards the summit. And I think Rob is just diving inside and out of our sight at the moment. There we go. Into the tunnels he goes. It's kind of low down here. Good job it's not a real drone, isn't it? Bouncing off the roof repeatedly. So the volcano very active at the moment as we make our way through here in the bridge up above. You just see the light in front of James lighting on the roadway. He's a diminutive figure there. You just see as the ride-ons come into view. Behind him, we're going over the top of the road low below, and that is on the causeway. This on the Sky Bridge up above the magma. A little bit cooler when we get up here, but not a lot. Fortunately, as you go out onto the outer slopes, it's going to cool down just a little bit, and you can see James about to pop out from the mountain. The light shining its way. It's got a little bit further to go on this long, sweeping turn, but now the daylight comes in to sight. The light at the end of the tunnel, if not the light at the end of the climb. You can see the mountains in the distance as James makes his way out. In front of him, the ski stations and the weather station and tower that make up the climb in front as he comes in and through round that turn. So out of the tunnel, the weird and wonderful vegetation that dots the side of the climb in bloom, just coming out. Some interesting nutrients for the riders on the way up, and for the flowers on the side of the hill. So time-wise, 8:37 time of Clare Ridge, 8:46 for Tracy Seeley. And the men's top rider, and only a few riders got inside of that 7 minutes. So 5 riders inside of 7 minutes, including Mr. Bond, currently with that fastest time up there, because the riders jumped off the bike, so their bike down. So James coming around, he's got about a lap and a quarter of the mountain to do. Out in the saddle here, and in the distance you can see the epic mountain climb. So you ascend that by going over the bridge that you can see in the distance with the single arch span going over, then up those zigzags, up those hairpin turns. It plateaus up by the archway, then there is that final ice climb on the ice road up to the very summit. If you're on the coastal lava route, you can just see you go from the standard single arch bridge to the suspension bridge in the distance, and that is on that big descent down that we were doing last week. Italian Villas just this side of the small island that you can see nearest to Mr. James as he makes his way around the side of the mountain now. It's definitely a little bit warmer here on the mountain side. As it comes around this turn, you just see the little flickering lights in the background. Those are actually going to be riders heading off. That's the rear lights going off into the valley, and that valley to the right of the ski station actually takes you into the Mayan jungle and into south side of the island. Well worth a trip and explore. If you've not explored the new roads on Zwift, do so. There's some really great terrain out there to go ride on. Some really interesting new routes. We all like new roads. It's great if you get a chance to jump on board. Make sure you get out and get them ridden. I know Russ has been looking at them. A lot of people have been looking at them. I think the members probably going to be testing them first of all, and then it may well be that they make their way on to the DCG on a Thursday as well. Remember, of course, Tuesday's DCG is for members of the DCG gang. Only this for all riders on a Thursday. Wednesdays is the Donny Cjhaingang, so plenty of Zwift rides coming up. And don't forget, you can register for all of those, and to join the gang, to register for the rides at www.buytickets.at/fullspeedevents. So James about to crest the top of this little part of the slope here, and when he does, he's going to find that gradient easy. You can see it dropping top right hand side of the screen down to 0% here. -1, little bit of respite. Time to spin those legs, just let them ease off a little bit. You don't get long because you're on to the boardwalk, and that boardwalk increasing in gradient. way up to a consistent 3% at the minute. Going to be around that left-hand turn, and the gradient will rise and ease until we get to that final kicker up on to the top of the mountain. The airship, the Zwift airship, now down below as our rider makes the way up around this left-hand spinning turn, the spiraling ascent of the volcano here on the Donny Cjhaingang. So off the boardwalk goes James onto the next tarmac stretch. You can see that white dot. That is James now coming around. He is fast approaching the half lap of the mountain to do. The gradient currently at 4%, so really biting in. The revs rolling around that 17 mark, just dropping down to 6 as that gradient really bites, gets out of some kicks down once again. Helicopter bangs off. You can see the bleak side, the shaded side of the mountain here, just getting dark on the side of it in the shade of that big volcanic peak. Still plenty of pockets, plenty of vents for the magma and the gas to the side of the mountain. The lower slopes where it's a long way down to the bottom now. The only way at the moment is up for James. Comes around. He's going to be heading into that final sharp, steep section. Not long until he gets there as he makes his way around this sweeping left-hand turn. Watch that gradient currently at 3%. Then we take a look at the gradient easing off. Back in the distance behind again, the epic climb once again. She's gone right the way round. Last time we were talking about the routes on there. As we come in into the left-hand turn, this is now the run in to the summit, so its gradient's going to increase. So Rob makes his way up here. You can see just how far down it is. It's not all that long ago. We were going across the glass bridge that goes from the downtown Watopia neck of the woods, and then makes his way, snakes his way out and around the world of Watopia. That's a long way down. Don't look, don't do it. It's not worth it. Just keep focusing on that banner. It's going to come into sight pretty soon and roll your way up over the top. So the gradient still consistently 4%. We're going actually over the top of one of our previous tunnels. That's actually directly below us, tilted into the hillside. But now the gradient kicks 7% as we come around the turn. Now on to 8. It's going to top out at 10, but as it does so, you start to get a view. Now into the red, we're into 9%, 10% now. And what we're looking for is that banner coming up in the distance. You can see it on your screen. You can see it's going to come up soon, and it's into sight. These are the final painful few pedal strokes for every rider, because this is no easy climb. It is the volcano, the king of the mountain ascent. This is the run for the line. This is kick in and through that finishing line for James, who's on his way through. Great riding by James today. making his way to the top of the climb. A great ride from him. You can see just how much height with a lot of water spreading out behind him, out in the distance, that view that goes on for miles. But James comes up. He comes across the line underneath the gantry. Job done for him, and now it's time to spin those legs out. So whilst he spins his legs out, just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. Please jump on board, get on your bike, come and join us. We love seeing our riders out on the Donny Cjhaingang, on the Wild Cjhaingangs. So please do make the little move of the mouse, click on the button and get yourselves registered. But from me, Matt Payne, from Russ, down in from all the team on the Donny Cjhaingang, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.